I just got to one of the worst skate parks that I've ever seen or been to before. This is Dapto Skatepark down the south coast from Sydney, and we're going to try and skate every obstacle that's here today. Yes, every obstacle. This skate park opened back in the year 2000, so obviously it is super outdated, but to be fair, it's pretty big and it seems to have some decent flow to it. Before I talk about the progression of skate park design and why you will never see a skate park like this being built in this day and age, let's have a little warm-up session and get a feel for how the park flows and a feel for some of the obstacles, because there is some pretty whack stuff at this skate park. This skate park was resurfaced and refurbished back in 2022, so it's actually a lot smoother than I expected. And the design of the park has the bowl and the transition up the top, and then more of the street section, I would say, down the bottom. And it actually has some pretty good flow to it, and the obstacles are spaced apart pretty well. But for the obstacles themselves, man, they are such whack designs. The first thing to mention are these rails/ledges. I don't know what they were going for here. Instead of putting like a right angle on the side, they've put rails on the side of them as the coping for the ledges. This is such an odd design and it feels so weird to grind. This box setup is super whack. The pyramid is pretty chill and fun, but the top section, once again, this rail is just so weird. I feel like this is more of a bike jump here. This concrete square slab on top of this ramp is so funny. I don't know if they were going for a Euro gap because it's way too far away and there's no landing at the top anyway. Once you land, it goes straight to grass. The only thing I can think of that's cool to skate is from the other side, from the bank to ledge, you can hit it that way. But even then, it's not really worth being there. This high flat bar at the top of the bowl is pretty fun because it's a curved square rail, so good for board sides and stuff. But it is so high and I don't know what they were thinking. It kind of follows the curve of the bowl, so I don't know if they put that there as like, so bike riders could air out and stall and grind or something and jump back in. But it's a good meter away from the bowl, so I don't know if that was their intentions or not. And the final eyesore of a whack obstacle is this weird hubba ledge down thing that goes across this quarter pipe. This is another example of having the round bar coping on either side of the ledge, but the whole design of it goes down, it kinks back up and it goes down again, and then it hits the quarter pipe section and then just goes straight down. I really don't know what was going on here, why they thought about this and why they designed it this way. So obviously opening back in the year 2000, these designs are super outdated. 25 years ago, I can't put too much hate on this design because skateboarding has progressed so much in this time, as well as skate park design as well. A lot of the design at this park reminds me of like an action sports setup, like big motocross jumps and BMX type stuff. I don't think it was really accounted for skateboarding, not street skateboarding anyway. But street skating has progressed a lot in these last 25 years as well. So this skate park just came from a completely different era. So I believe with the evolution of contest skating and street skating, a lot of the skate parks you see these days are like a street league replica course. So big stairs, big handrails, big hubbers, lots of rails and stuff to grind, lots of stairs to jump down. They might have little bits of transition sprinkled around, usually at each end of the skate park to keep the flow so you can turn around. But skate parks these days are trying to mimic more street skating or more street plazas. And I'm down for that. I love skating ledges and rails. But with the popularity of street skating, I think a lot of skate park design is leaning that way. There are still good elements of transition skating in amongst these skate parks that are being built these days. But from what I've seen and what I've experienced with the newer parks, it's heavily street based. So now, over these last 25 years, there's a lot more money going into skate park design and skate park building. Having skateboarding in the Olympics has put eyes on skateboarding all over the world. So I've seen more and more skate parks popping up over the last 5 years since the Olympics. A lot more money going into the design, a lot of consultation within the community so skaters can choose what they want to see at their local skate park. I think back in this era, whoever got paid to design the skate parks just chose what they saw Tony Hawk skating and just put massive ramps and weird stuff in there. But it is funny to see a skate park that opened back in the year 2000 to what we're getting now in 2025. Some of the skate parks I've been skating recently are amazing. And even a lot of people on my videos are like, where was this 20 years ago when I was skating? They didn't have skate parks back like this in my day, and they didn't. But the progression has come so far. So I thought it would be a good idea to document that today. But let me know what you guys think. Has skate park design progression come the right way over these last 25 years? Or are they still making mistakes that we'll look back at in the next 25 years and wonder why they designed it that way? Either way, we need to get back into the session here and skate all the obstacles I haven't skated yet. I really want to hit that weird kinked down hubber thing, but I'm really scared of that at the moment, so I'm going to save that till last. I did say I'd skate everything today, but I don't know if I'll actually get that done. But let's get back into this session, and then I will go over the positives and the negatives that I find after a full session of this park. That feels so high. That's actually kind of hard because you have to swerve in or throw down quickly to get your setup for it. But we definitely need to get a better one than that. That's better. I'll try and get one to fakie. Damn, this thing was hard to skate. That was absolutely terrifying. I know you weren't expecting me to get any clips in the bowl here, so that's all you're gonna get. Now onto the last obstacle. Oh, I really hope I don't get smoked trying this silly ledge. And it doesn't even, looks like it just shoots you straight into the ground. Yep. Oh, I don't really want to pick up any speed while I'm on it because I'm going downhill anyway, so I just wax my trucks a little bit. This is one of those things that you just hope works out first try, and you pray you get it and don't get hurt. I think the only thing to do is just go for it. Wish me luck. Having the coping of the ledge of round rail makes it feel so inconsistent to lock onto. I kind of would have preferred if it was just a round rail, or a normal ledge with a right angle. Oh yeah, nah. If that slips into a feeble when I'm going down, that's so deadly. 3 more attempts, proper attempts at grinding this ledge, and if it doesn't feel right and I'm not feeling comfortable, then 100% not going to go through with this. I freaked out so hard then. I should have just committed and landed that. Now that I got that far, I know I can do it, and I have to do it now. Damn it. Can't believe I made it that far. All right, looks like this is happening then. That was my second out of the 3 attempts, so hopefully on this third one I actually land it. We can get out of here and never come back. Oh my God. I don't know if that was me. I'm gonna watch the footage back, but it felt like my wheel started slipping off to feeble then. So glad I didn't die. That's actually terrifying to watch back. As I was getting to the tip here, my front toe side wheel lifted over onto the rail. So it was on its way to slipping into a feeble. Right at the top there would have been so deadly. But luckily I was committed, shoulders were square, and it just straightened back up and I went down. But that was terrifying, but I'm so glad I was able to get that and it didn't get the better of me and I didn't get hurt. So positives of this park, it flows well. Like I said, the transition's built well. It's huge, but the transition isn't like sharp and it isn't too steep or high. Like the concave's good, I think is what I'm trying to say. You can tell I don't skate transition. But the street obstacles here suck. The ledges aren't even ledges. They've got rails on them like this. It's so hard to lock in properly. This kind of stuff's good for board sliding, but not this obstacle itself. This thing's whack. I don't even know what they were going for this one, but it's so gnarly. Euro gap to nothing, but it's cool to skate it as a block on top of the bank. And it's just one of those parks, like I knew I was gonna come here today and not have like a full-on 6 session. I knew I was gonna muck around on these whack little obstacles and I still ended up having a lot of fun. But I'm never gonna come back back here again. There's no need to, there's no reason to. This is a weekday, but I've been here for a few hours and no one's showed up at all. Obviously the kids will be at school, but I don't think anyone wants to choose to come here when there's better skate parks around the area. Like Shell Harbour's pretty close, I'm pretty sure. So there are a few positives, but the negatives here outweigh it completely. But like I said, to be fair, this skate park opened 25 years ago. Skate park design has evolved and come so far. It's progressed so far in this time. And the skate parks we're getting these days are amazing. You can't compare the new ones we're getting today to these ones that were built in a completely different era. These days, skate parks are getting incorporated into a full-on youth precinct as well. So they'll have a little playground, they'll have some workout equipment, and they'll have some sporting fields and stuff too. So they're not just isolated skate parks that are put out in this random field like they are here. They're building skate parks in better locations and including other similar kind of sports around there too. The most recent one I went to that's close to Penrith is the Gyp Street Recreation Precinct, which is a perfect example. That skate park is top tier, it's amazing. There's so many different sections to it, so many different obstacles for different types of skaters and different skill levels. But they've also got a massive pump track, they've got basketball courts, different soccer fields and stuff there, parkour areas, all of this stuff included into one space. So the skate park progression's come a long way. That skate park is amazing, and a lot of the skate parks being built are similar quality to that one. And you can check out the full rundown I did on that skate park in this video right here.